A Tale of Pirates is a real-time cooperative game. It is divided into 10 chapters to be played in sequence. You can only play a new chapter if you have successfully completed the previous one. You will find the components you need to play each chapter in a sealed envelope. The deeper you delve into the story, the more things you will discover. When you open the box, build Ellen, your ship, following the instructions in the rulebook, and download the free companion app. You will always need the following components to play the game: the board with the directions and the ship placed in the middle, the die, the cannonballs, the corks, the life points, and all the damage tokens. In a 3 or 4 player game, each player takes a send timer, representing a member of the crew. In a 2-player game, each player takes 2 send timers. When you are ready to play your first adventure, start the app and select the first chapter. Select the number of players and the difficulty level. See how many rounds the chapter will have. Click Start Mission to read the story of this chapter and to discover your goal. In the next screen, you can see the list of the components you will need for the current chapter. You can now open the envelope Chapter 1. Take all the components and place them face up on the table as a supply. Then set up the ship as shown. Set the starting speed, the life points, and place corks in the damaged spots indicated. And lastly, place the cards as instructed. With the start button, the mission and its timer start. There are no turns, all players play at the same time. The gameplay is very easy. You can freely place your send timer in an empty action space to be able to perform the corresponding action. But you have to be patient. When you place a send timer, you must wait until the sand has fallen before you can perform an action. There are some rules for placing the send timers. Each player can only touch their own send timer. To choose an action, turn your send timer upside down in an action space, so that the sand inside is all in the upper half. The sand will start to fall into the lower half. Once you have placed your send timer, you cannot touch it until all the sand has fallen. After all the sand has fallen, you can perform the chosen action at any time and then remove the sand timer. You can never perform an action in the same area of the ship twice in a row. Let's see what the actions are. With the sail action, you can move the sails by 1 step up or down. The position of the sails indicates your speed. With the helm action, you can move the ship's bow to the left or to the right, according to your speed. At speed 0, you cannot move. At speed 1, you can move 1 or 2 steps left or right, and flip the cards on the section you are pointing to at the end of the movement. At speed 2, you can only move 1 step left or right and flip the cards. At speed 3, you cannot move the ship. With the lookout action, you can flip a card of your choice face up anywhere on the board. With the repair action, you can remove a cork from a damaged action space and place it back in the supply. This action is very important, because damaged spaces are occupied and cannot be used until repaired. With the cannonball action, you can take up to 2 cannonballs from the supply and load them in 2 different cannons. With the cannon action, you can use a loaded cannon to shoot at one face-up enemy card that your cannon is pointing to. Discard the cannonball and throw the die. You can get 1 or 2 hits to assign damages to the enemy card, or you might break your cannon. Insert a cork if that happens. If you manage to cover all the life points of an enemy card, you can discard it. The enemy is sinking. Some of the cards you reveal will make you lose life points. If you lose all life points you are sinking, your mission failed. Other cards require a certain speed to interact with them. That happens, for instance, to discard passage cards. During the timer phase, the app may call an unexpected event. You have to apply the event's effect during the gameplay. If something unexpected happens during the game, you can pause the timer tapping the menu button. When the timer stops, put your hands up. The app shows what you have to do as end round phase. All players who placed their send timers before the timer ended can still perform the selected action. Then turn all the cards on the board face up. Discard all the rocks and fog cards. If there are enemy cards around the board, each enemy shoots at you. Roll a die for each enemy and apply the result. 1 or 2 hits correspond to 1 or 2 corks to insert in the section where the card is. If you cannot place a cork because there are no corks left in the supply, or because that area is already completely damaged, you lose 1 life point. If you lose all your life points after this phase, your mission failed. Otherwise, you can discard all the passage cards to be used in the next round and proceed setuping the new round, following the up instructions, exactly as the first one. After you have completed the end round phase of the final round, check if you have achieved the chapter goal. If you have, congratulations! You are ready to continue with your adventure. What is your record score? The next time you play, you can deal with Chapter 2. All the chapters are replayable to achieve your best scores. In the following chapters, you will find new rules and new components that we cannot show you. Your adventure has just begun. You are now ready to play A Tale of Pirates.